Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see, I will be showing you how to make very easy, very simple fabric masks. These masks are very simple. They have 3 layers, one layer of just plain decorative fabric, then inside there's flannel, and then on the other side is organic cotton. Inside they have a bendable wire that will allow for you to form it against your face, and 2 pieces of elastic. They're really that simple. These masks are great for going to town, going shopping, whatever you need to do. They are not meant to replace the N95 masks. These are just meant to help you protect others and protect yourself as well. And you can use whatever you find around your house to make these. So here's what you will need to make these masks. For these masks, you will need 1 piece of 100% cotton decorative fabric, 1 piece of flannel, 1 piece of organic cotton. The organic cotton is for the part of the mask that you will be breathing on. You will need pins. Actually, only 4 of them is really what you will need, so just 4 small push pins. Then you will need also a measuring tape. I already have measured my pieces of fabric out, so that part's finished. You will also need, here I have regular twist ties. These you can find pretty much anywhere. You can get them in your pantry or wherever. So you can use regular twist tie. For this mask, I am using what I bought online. I'm using actual wire meant for masks. So this comes in very handy. This will be inside of the mask, so it will not even be seen. So that, and then a seam ripper. Seam rippers come in very handy when you make a mistake in your sewing and you have to undo the seams. So I highly recommend having one of those in case you make a mistake. Then you need 2 pieces of elastic. I like to use this elastic that's really soft and it doesn't hurt the ears. So 2 pieces of elastic, and then of course you'll need scissors. And the most important part of this project is the sewing machine. Okay, let's begin. To begin, you will take your decorative fabric and you will lay it on top of the flannel, just like that. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your elastics and you're gonna pin them about 1 inch to, or 1/2 inch to 1 inch, just like this. And then you want to make sure that the elastic is not twisted like that. So you want to make sure that it's nice and straight. And then you're going to pin it just like this. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Try to make sure that the elastics are level with each other. Okay, and once you have the elastic pinned, you will take your piece of organic cotton and you will lay it right on top, just like that. And then you will pin it, making sure that you have pinned all 4 layers, well, 3 layers of fabric and the elastic, and you will do that on all 4 corners. So once you have all 4 corners pinned, it should look like this. Flannel on this side. We're going to sew all the way around, but we're going to leave an opening right there. That opening is going to be, we're going to use that opening to turn the mask inside out when we finish. So make sure you leave that opening. Don't be like me and sew it all shut, or you're going to have to use this little guy and you're going to have to open it up, and that will make you waste another 10 minutes. So make sure you leave that opening. So to begin, you will slide it right under the presser foot and you will look and make sure that the elastic is straight. You don't want it to be like that. You want it to be nice and straight before you begin sewing. Then put the organic cotton back on top of it, lower your presser foot, and begin sewing. But before you do, I want to say that you want to backstitch. Do a backstitch when you reach the elastic, so that the elastic will have tension on it, so you want it to be secure. Now that we have sewn all 4 sides and left an opening, we will glue the wire onto the flannel part of the mask. And you want to glue it right as close as you can to the seam right there. But you don't want to glue it too low, because what's going to happen is when you turn it inside out, we're going to sew all 4 sides, and you can end up hitting the wire with your needle, and you don't want that. So you want to glue it as close as you can to the seam. Before we glue it on, I just want to say that you want to make sure that you glue it to the top of the mask. For example, this fabric, this would be the top of the mask, but on this one, it doesn't really matter, so it could be either side. But if you do have a fabric that definitely has a top, you want to make sure that you look inside and that you glue it where the top of the mask would be. Before we turn the mask inside out, you want to clip the corners. That is optional, you don't have to do that, but since we're going to turn it inside out, it's best if you do it, because it'll help us pop the corners of the mask out nicely. Okay, and now this is the fun part. This is my favorite part of making the mask. You will turn it inside out. So I like to stick my hand inside and feel for the elastic, and use the elastic to help me pull it inside out. You're definitely not going to be able to do it all with your fingers, so what I recommend is using your scissors. Use the point of it and stick the scissors inside, and use the point to pop out the corners gently. The wire is inside, and now you can see here the opening of the mask. So you will go ahead and now with your fingers close the opening. So now I have set up my ironing board right here. We will iron the mask, and we want to make sure that the opening, that we close the opening by folding it in just like that. So now that we've ironed the entire mask just like that, we will take it, well, the top of it. This is the top. If you forget where the top is, you just feel for the wire. That's the top, and you want to fold it about 1 inch. And I use this fold right here to guide me, so I kind of feel for it. It takes some trial and error to make it look just right. So you want to kind of eyeball it and make sure that it looks, just that it looks even, and then you're gonna iron it. So now we will fold it one more time, just like this, so that you have 3 folds. And as I said, it's gonna take a little bit of trial and error to get it just right. Just make sure that the folds look even, that the mask looks even, and then you will iron it. Iron it a few times to get the folds to stay. Once it's ironed, we will take it back to our sewing machine, and for the last step, and that is sewing all four sides of it. If you notice, the way I like to do my masks is the top of the mask, this part is the largest fold, and then the other 2 folds are the smaller folds, just so that people can identify what is the top of the mask. So we will take it back to our sewing machine. I like to use different colors of threads. I don't want to use a white thread for this one because it'll it'll be seen. I don't want them to see white thread. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rethread my machine. When we sewed it the first time, it doesn't really matter what color thread you use. I guess you could use hot pink and nobody would even notice, because you turn the mask inside out. But on the outside, you will want to use a nicer thread. You can use white, but it really depends on the kind of fabric you have and how nice you want to make it look. So make sure you know how to thread your machine. You can find YouTube videos on that. But I am just going to thread mine really quickly. So for the final step of this project, I like to start from the top left corner and sew right to the top. You will feel the wire, but if you glued the wire on correctly, you will not have to worry about it. The needle is not going to hit the wire. So you start from the top left, that's where I like to start, and I sew all the way across, then all the way down, then all the way across, then all the way up. I just wanted to say that before you sew it, you want to make sure that your folds are nice and tight. This presser foot here is going to want to unfold your mask, and you don't want that to happen. So make sure that during this sewing process that you really hold on to your mask tightly until it's all sewed. Lower the presser foot, and when you begin, make it a habit to backstitch. So I will begin and then I will backstitch. As you can see here, I'm adjusting the folds and making sure they are ready. And I like to use the elastic to help me, so what I do is I lower the presser foot and I like to tug on the elastic and guide it through. As you can see, my fingers are just as close as they can get to the needle. That is because I want to make sure that these folds stay put. So I hope you enjoyed this video. These masks happen to be for my cousins in Guatemala, so I hope they enjoy it too. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. I like to use different colors of threads. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel.